What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Big MBKJ here with Mocheniq Media. I'm here with a new up and coming artist, Ace Dubz. Shout out to the people.
Man, it's your boy Ace Dub, man, in the building. How y'all doing? We got a nice little interview coming for y'all, man. Just waiting.
So, being an up and coming artist, the most common question people get is, how long have you been rapping? Because it takes a minute for people to get on the radar, kind of get onto these platforms. How long have you been an artist?
I mean, taking it seriously, I'd probably say the last 2.5 years, 2 years, I've been just taking it serious. So about less than 3 years, I would say. Totally.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Now, I got a chance to tap into some of your music. Now, I would say you're definitely a person that has different styles to work with. You kind of remind me more of like a LA rapper, The Game. I see a little bit of like, kind of like a '08, like Rick Ross a little bit too. So there's a little bit of that. But also too, I seen you even hop onto country samples and stuff like that. Can you tell me a little bit more of that?
I'm about to say, I don't know where it came from, but me and my boy from high school, actually, we were just one day fucking around. And he's like, let's hop on a country song, make a little collab. Went to Ohio, made that song, and then it was up from there. That's when, honestly, I took my shit, like my music more serious. So that song specifically, Dead Man, that song really just put me in a whole different aura, a whole different zone. So I'm just glad I did it, you know what I mean?
Nah, I hear that. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I hear that you said Ohio, correct? Okay. There's a lot of artists out there working. What made you want to reach out there?
I just have an engineer out there. He's pretty professional and high in the industry, so I just went out there and just made a song with him, and it turned out better than I expected. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep on making songs with you. So
I hear that. So, are you typically working physically with producers, other artists? Do you ever do any remote type of feature work or anything, that type of thing?
I used to when I first started, but now that I'm taking it more serious, I've been just working on my own craft, finding my own like style to work with, and then once I actually figure out like my actual main style I'm gonna go with, then I'll actually just reach out to people that want to do features and then see what happens, go from there.
Okay.
Obviously, I have a lot of songs in the vault from like a couple of years ago, so I have a lot of features from like big celebrities already. So I've been just waiting just the right time to drop them. So
I feel that. Any you want to shout out? We're keeping them in the tuck for right now.
Why? I mean, Lucci, he just got out of jail.
Okay.
So Wife and Lucci, yeah, shout out to him. I got Wife and Pound. Who else? I said Wife and Ray. I said a lot of Wife and all the down south Georgia people. But other than that, right now, I'm keeping them low. For sure.
I rock with it. So what's some of the differences working in person versus working remote with an artist?
Honestly, I don't really see a difference, but the only thing I've seen noticeably, like working in person with artists, is trying to get on the same page. But for me, I think working remotely, like through I don't know, FaceTime, through a text, is a little more easier because you get your part that they already made, and then you just hop on and finish it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot more easier than just trying to be in the studio and working. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people butt heads. So I think for me, that's a little more complicated, but people work differently, so it might work out differently with other people, but for me, that's how I work. So
now, have you ever had to deny a feature, whether it's accepting somebody on your project or saying, I don't like the song that you want me to hop on, or any type of collaboration?
I mean, honestly, no. I mean, whatever opportunity I'm given, I just try and run with it and take it, you know what I'm saying? So no matter if it's like a smaller artist or a big artist than me, so it doesn't really matter to me. If the song's good, it's catchy, then make something happen.
Okay. Now, earlier I talked about I felt like I heard some similarities, not some similarities, but maybe some influence between The Game or Rick Ross or anything. Are there any influences that play a part with your music?
Honestly, I think my biggest influence, if I have one, I really don't. I just got music, I don't know, just didn't no idea where I was going to take it. I think Lil Wayne, honestly, has a big impact because he's been around since I was a kid, and that's who I grew up on. And he's a crazy artist, bro. He's a whole different directions, 100 different flows. You never know that, man. So it's like, he definitely has an influence for sure, I'd say.
Okay. Do you have a favorite bar or favorite song by Lil Wayne?
John Wayne, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Officer, I like that shit too.
Okay, Mr. Officer, I fuck with that too, especially if it come on in the club, for real. Speaking of clubs, have you promoted in the club? Are you staying away from the club? What's the plan?
A lot of my shows are down south, so I be going to I don't know whatever the club they got going on down there. They throw me in there, and it's usually jumping. So clubs are definitely the best way I think to promote music, especially with good-looking women. You know what I'm saying? Good music, good vibes. It spreads like wildfire. So.
For sure, for sure. That's definitely take that in, up and coming artists. That's free game right there. Now, when you're going on your promotional run, are you typically just doing clubs, or are there more things going into it? What would you say your strategy is?
For me, honestly, I just take it by ear. Whatever happens, happens. I usually go on. Like I said, I travel a lot, so it's like honestly that helps my demographic like grow as it is. Like my whole just traveling and getting to know people like face to face, and I'm spreading word of mouth is honestly for me is my best way to promote. And it's like obviously social media is there as well, but I have a big presence on social media, so I haven't been really working on that too much. I've been working on just when I travel, trying to like you know what I'm saying, just promote myself. Like I don't know, like Instagram, Snapchat, social media is that way. You know what I mean?
For sure, and I feel like it's definitely working for you. You definitely have a few songs that's touching over tens of thousands. So just on Spotify alone. So I imagine it's doing the same on Apple too. So for sure, for sure. Are there any tracks recently that you feel super proud of?
Deadman, and I like what else? There's one more. I'll take Fake Love.
Were there any interest in becoming an artist during school, high school, any of those type of things?
Honestly, no. I was just randomly one day just making a beat, listening to me. I'm saying someone's like, "Oh, hop on a beat real quick, freestyle." Obviously, it was not good. It was trash, but they thought it was. They were hyping me up. You know, already know how it goes. So then I'm like, all right, maybe I can try and see what happens. So then I kept doing it, and now we're here.
So what's like some of the first type beats you typed in onto YouTube? I feel like most artists start there.
I'd say old school hip hop, 90s. Yeah, I never just hopped into like the new wave, what's going on, the trending. I've always, because you gotta practice first. Practice makes perfect. So slower. I mean, I started off slower, obviously slower rhythms and slower bars, just like that. But now that be like obviously as time goes on, it's gotten better. So.
Yeah, for sure. Now, are there certain maybe eras of hip hop that you kind of got hold like dear near to your heart and everything? Maybe like 90s, maybe early 2000 eras.
2000s, bro. Like when I was growing up, every time I hear songs I grew up on, like my parents played for me when I was a kid, it just hits different. You know what I mean? Always hits different.
Any certain artists that stand out during that period?
I think there's definitely a couple, but
I know 50 Cent was a huge one for me, for sure.
50's a big influence. Even till this day, 50's still out here, bro, making waves, bro. Every like week I hear something about 50, bro. I swear to God.
For sure, and I definitely think 50's a person. He's stayed on like a longevity path. He's made sure that he's last long in the game. What's some of your plans to last long in the game?
Honestly, take it to movies, man. I've been looking to do movies for the last year and a half, 2 years, but it's like it's kind of hard though because people like casting and making sure people are actually on board to actually do it. Because it's like people, if they're not getting paid, they ain't gonna do it. So it's like you gotta pay these motherfuckers and you gotta make sure they steady getting paid so they don't quit on you halfway through the production and then, you know what I mean?
I've shot a short film. We were able to premiere it on South Clinton at this movie theater. I say one big takeaway that I learned from that, trying to pay people, do everything like that, have a budget, and then try to like, just like when you're coming up with your promo plan, it's kind of the same thing. So I definitely say like, yo, if that's a dream that you have, shoot for it. Shoot for it. It's definitely possible too.
It's definitely not a reach because obviously people start up small and look what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like look at Steven Spielberg, bro, Michael Bay, all them big people that started off in way back in the day, and now they literally have created movies that have generated billions of dollars, bro. So it's like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Everyone doesn't want to take the steps to get there. Everyone wants to just be Scarface, run the world. And they just don't want to be the moment when he's in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Start at the bottom. So you just can't skip the steps of success. You really can't.
Do you feel like there's any positions like that when it comes to the music industry?
if you know people, if say like your dad, your president, or someone's big in the music industry, you obviously have an advantage all day, all day. I don't care what anybody says. Even if your music's not good, they can still get in there and I want you to push my daughter's music, my son's music, and they will. And next thing you know, bro, they're popping, and then they find their own like pretty much their own sound at that point.
For sure. And I feel like those type of people definitely take a more industry path. You know, some of them, like, I think it's crazy to even think about. There's people that apply to jobs to record labels. Like, that boggles my mind because, no, for sure. That's how some people got into music back, especially like early 2000 or anything like that.
Pretty much.
For sure. Like, you could go on Indeed or whatever you use, and that was the case. That's how, like, let's say you wanted to be an A&R, for example. You had to apply for that position. So, you know, even to like as an artist, there would be people, you know, they'll do the application route of that, like go on the website, type in their info, like, hey, here's a couple songs. Do you feel like you're better off as an independent artist? Do you feel like you have plans to be signed? What's your pros and cons for each?
I mean, the pros of being signed is if you need a quick bag, and you're getting offers, and like you really need that money to do things, and do it smart. Take the money. Take obviously not the biggest amount because that's more you got to pay in the back end, but take a comfortable amount you actually think you can pay back, so you're not getting everything, taking all your assets. You know what I'm saying, in the future, because you never know, that shit will happen. But I think my take on what I'm gonna do in the future is if it's a good enough deal, distribution wise, royalties, something like that, we just gonna be on the same path and or pretty much on the same page with that. That's why I haven't signed yet, because a lot of artists get screwed up their deals and they're not eating and they just get blackballed. So there's a lot of pros and cons to it, but I think there's more good than bad with record deals. If you actually look at I'm saying you look at it certain ways, but for me, I want to get signed, but right now I'm staying independent because I think with the momentum I'm gaining, I can possibly get to the goal I want with the record deal. So I'm just trying to just take the steps as it is, you know what I'm saying? So.
For sure. And I feel like, too, independent, I think some people think there's not a lot of opportunities to make money. Yeah, there's a ton. I know there's some people like there used to be a time back in the day where, let's say you wanted to have a fan base, you wanted to have merch and all that, you had to save up the money to buy all these shirts. Some would sell, some don't. Now they have things like print on demand where people could just, you know, go online, buy the shirt, they make it out wherever they make it and ship it out. You don't even have to touch the product, but you make the money from it, you know. Even too, I find artists, they're making money throwing their own shows. Like, they're okay with starting at 25, 50 person venues. You know, do you think that's something you would get yourself into, like hosting your own events or own days?
Yeah, because the more you put it on for, like, either not, I'm gonna say for your city, but the more put it on for the people that like really fuck with you, it doesn't matter, bro. They gonna support you to the end because they ride or die. That's how it really happens. They actually a fan, bro. They gonna spend money with you. They gonna spend money on your shows, your merch, even, you know what I'm saying, promote you for free, bro. Without even have to do anything. You don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fans, they take people to a whole different level that artists don't even realize they're ungrateful for. You know what I'm saying? And I always try to like make sure at least a couple times a month, maybe sometimes if I'm like really busy, I make sure to tell my fans I appreciate them, that I'm grateful, because it's like without them, bro, I wouldn't be here. You know, for real, who do you listen to my music? Who would be sharing my music? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the fans really play a huge aspect in artist success. So it's like for me, bro, I would definitely start off the venues for sure. Start small. And they'll be selling out 2,000, 10,000 people shows. So that's just how it goes. You just gotta stick to the plan, and if you're really down for the plan, bro, it'll work out. It will.
Perfect, for sure. So even so, I love that talk on, like, you know, how much you love your fans and everything like that. So let's say this, somebody that's watching this interview right now, they're interested, they like your music, they're gonna press on a link. What makes them want to be a fan? Is it the experience? Is it kind of the abstract designs or something in your content? What would you kind of say is
Lyrics. So, because I've been through a lot, and my new album definitely touches like hard, like, you know what I'm saying, sensitive subjects that some people might have gone through as a child, even going through now. So it's like definitely, I think lyrics definitely touch a lot of people, like in a different way, especially fans that actually like your music. They want to listen to what you got to say. So it's like that's definitely I think my take on that for sure. Lyrics.
For sure, and I feel like a lot of people they use a lot of their life in their music and stuff. I know there were some things you were saying like when people were going through when they were younger in life. Were there anything that might have inspired your music from a younger age
I mean, honestly,
that you'd like to talk about?
it's deep, but I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, I've been through a lot, and it's I've definitely music's like has helped me escape all the negativity and all the bullshit that the world has to really. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. It has to offer. The world definitely is not a really a positive place, but you make it. You can make it positive for sure. You can definitely make it the way you want to live life the way you want it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand that either. They don't understand that they have their own power to guide themselves through what they want to do in life. And they don't understand.
For sure, and I feel like a lot of people too, they can create their own happiness. Now, for these songs that kind of touch on these subject, what would you say to be like the top two best songs to touch on these subject that if people are like, yo, I think that might touch me?
I would say, I'm trying to think, my first one is probably Questions. That was like probably one of my first songs I dropped on the album. It just questioned my life, like pretty much, like why I'm here and like why I've been through the things I have been. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to deal with it anymore. It's different. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people told me they like that song, and I would say another one would be, I would say just Fake Love too. And I just love that song, bro. That's 100% made me just realize that you really can put your life into music for sure, and people make it catchy way too, make it sound good. People, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna listen to it, so oh shit, okay, that's how you gotta do it.
Now, I know that you said on Questions that a lot of people like it. Were you surprised that a lot of people liked it?
Yeah, honestly, I was definitely surprised. It's just I was just making music, making a song, dropped it on my album, and I was definitely surprised they got the reaction I did. So,
What was some of the feedback people were saying?
they're just surprised, honestly, that it was good, and they said it was catchy too, just the flow and stuff. They said that was definitely like one of my first songs to really show people, I guess, that I don't know, it's hard to explain, I guess, that life isn't always good, but you can make it the way you want it to, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely one of the songs that made me realize that.
Okay. Now, I'm definitely too a person that love to turn up in the club and everything too. I'll pop a bottle, whatever the case may be. Now, you got some songs that I could definitely do that too. There's this one song. It says Motion in the name. Yes, Real Motion. That's my song right now. Please tell me how that song came about.
Bro, honestly, bro, real shit, it wasn't supposed to be a diss track or nothing because me and my boy, we fell out like a couple years ago. And I think to this day, I think he set me up. To this day, I almost lost my life, bro, in a church parking lot. And I was like, you know what? I wasn't really mad at him. I was just really mad at the situation. So I went home and I started making music. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Kept on going with it. And I was like, bro, just real shit. Like what just happened? And I was like, you know what? I'm making a song of this shit. It's not a diss track. It's not no disrespect to nobody. That's why the name's not even nothing like that. It's just Real Motion. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And I made this song, bro. I was like, yo,
Because I was listening, I was just having your songs on shuffle, and that was one of the ones where I was just find myself bobbing. I was like, okay, this is one of them right there. So if you ain't see that Real Motion, check that one out for sure.
But I got you the music videos. Don't swap me no more on it. I got you. Confirm this summer, bro. You dropped the music video 100%. I got you.
So tell me, why is it important to have real motion in life?
Because it shows who like what you're about in life. You know what I'm saying? It's what you stand for. Because if you're not standing for nothing, you're just saying you're talking. It shows for sure. People can see that. They can sense that. But if you're really about what you say, you don't even have to even broadcast it or even put it in people's faces. They just know, like, yo, that nigga got motion, bro. Like, that's that guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, energy's a real thing, bro. And it's like you put out, you put pretty much you get what you put out in the world. So you got high vibrations, high energy, and then you know what you want to do in life, it's gonna come back tenfold. So you just gotta keep your head sharp, focused, and that's it, bro. It's all about mentality and your brain power.
And I love that you added all that because there's definitely a fan out there. They're 16, 17 in school or whatever. You know, they might not be the most popular kid or whatever the case may be, but they like, yo,
You got good grades. That's motion, my boy. That's real motion. Because that can get you a lot farther than that jocking and fucking on the football team trying to get some bitches. You know what I'm saying?
for a fact too, and plus two, she don't need a tutor. She failing that one grade. She need a tutor. She got to pass. She got to pass. So you know, I'm loving this interview so much and anything. Is there anything you really want to make sure that people know? Like, why isn't there more music video of Ace Dubz?
Honestly, I've been just really busy trying to focus on my business. I've been, over the last couple of years, I've been trying to like make sure I have something that has sustainable income so I can continue doing this. Because this is a passion right now, and I'm treating it as a hobby, and so I'm starting to get the big checks. You know what I'm saying? Shit rolling on. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, right now it's a hobby, and it's definitely gonna take things to a whole different level once I do music videos consistently. So once I got the budget for it and get everything, you know what I'm saying, specifically for this, then I'll be, everything will be rolling.
100%. For sure, and I love that. So I'm sure there's some fans, they got some of their favorite songs, they want music videos. Give us 2 videos that you really think deserve videos from your catalog.
Definitely Real Motion, and I think Come Here Baby definitely needs a music video. It's not big, only because it was only able to drop on SoundCloud and YouTube. But other than that, I think if I make a music video to it, I think the song and the audio will definitely push itself. Yeah.
So the song "Come Here, Baby," I haven't heard that song. Is that song more for the ladies?
Nah, it's a pop bottles. You know what I'm saying? It's a fire song.
Okay. Girls like that too. Now that's what they feeling now. Okay. Now, what's some features from celebs that you think would work real well with your style?
Like any feature?
Any feature, unlimited budget.
Unlimited budget. All right. I think honestly, I could do something with Tyga. Drake. I don't think I would want to work with Rick Ross. Maybe I don't think I would, just because like I see how he is like with other people and shit, and they already high up there. So it's like, fuck that, bro. Fuck all that. I actually got invited to his partner. That's crazy that because we're talking about that. Come Here, Baby. When I first dropped that snippet on my Instagram, they were trying to have me go out to his party, one of his pool parties and shit. Yeah. I was like, I don't know, man, because I don't know. Yeah, so I just started taking music serious. And I was like, still, you know, I don't know. I just had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, I don't know, man. I just wasn't ready. I don't think I was ready for that shit.
No, I feel you. We all run in them situations. There's a lot of artists. There may be some opportunity or something. They're second guessing themselves. Would you say that's something that you may have regretted?
No.
Okay.
For sure, definitely not. Okay. If you really like know what you're doing, there's endless opportunities out there. 100%. It's like, you know what? I know it's a big thing, could help me right now in my career or whatever, but at the end of the day, I didn't have the momentum. I didn't have none of that right now to want to even put myself in that position, the spotlight, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get the back end, jump in first, and then now, you know what I'm saying, we ready, so.
Not for sure. So I'm definitely glad you mentioned a part where there's endless opportunities and everything. Can you kind of highlight some opportunities that's out there, just even common things that maybe, you know, the first year artists may not even know about?
Traveling, bro, and getting in shows is definitely gonna help you stand out from the rest of the crowd, bro. Because if you really showing that you're really about what you say, your craft, and you're about the music, that's what the music, they want to see that you're actually about the music, you know what I'm saying, not just the talk. And I think the best way to get it, really jump into your career, bro, is to travel and get out there, word of mouth, promote yourself in person, get the feel for people, how they feel for you, and then, you know what I'm saying, play some music for people on the street, whatever. Do what you gotta do and see if there's a vibe, see if there's, you know what I'm saying, before you go in there and start investing all this money in yourself. Because I would say, obviously, that's what you got to do, invest money into yourself. But before you do all that, make plans, you got to make sure you can even possibly sell the product that you're making for the people. So, and music is a product. At this point, it's a business. So music definitely is a product for people. And if you can't sell a product, there's no point of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just being realistic, not being an asshole, not being treating people. You know what I'm saying? It's just realistic and just cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? That's it. To the point.
So I will say this: you're very much on the business side of music. A lot of artists I find are more on the artistic side, and they stay solely on that side. Can you please go deeper into why it's important to educate yourself on the business side? I think this part is real important because you're going to really express to some artists the importance of this.
The reason why it's important is because at the end of the day, you never know if your music is gonna blow up or not, and if it does, and you don't have your rights to it or any partial like ownership of your music, that money's not yours. It's not gonna go to you, and you're gonna lose out on a lot of cash, bro. There are artists out there saying they lost just from simple like not putting the in the digital libraries on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to the music, bro. That people don't understand about business wise, and he said he lost over like 200 grand. 200,000. I'm like, and he wasn't even that big of an artist, bro. That's a big bag right there. 200 grand off of that could have been yours just because of one simple step you didn't do on the business side. You just people could fumble bags off this shit, bro, and they don't even realize it.
For sure, I definitely think there's a lot of ASCAPs. You got the BMIs. You got all these performing rights that artists don't even realize they're like rabbit holes of income streams for yourself. And if you're an artist that maybe you're only doing tens and thousands of streams, but you got a catalog worth of music. These are coins in different avenues, and each song has 5 to 7 different ways of making money.
Also, another way of making money with music, if you don't want to be signed, you want to be independent, is sync listing, libraries, sync library, whatever. See if you can try and get a catalog that's gonna pay you monthly for your pretty much royalties to your song. So that's the best way I think. High returns is sync catalog.
For sure. And also too, tapping in with a lot of sound engineers on movie sets. They're not hard to reach out to. If you go on LinkedIn, they need music to license out, and they pay for a platform that they got paid monthly or whatever. But if you're like, yo, all you do is work on the next hood movies, okay, you're gonna need these type of tracks, whatever. I got 3 for the ladies, 3 for the club, 3 for the late night ride homes. You can undersell whatever program they're using. Do the research on these type of things. So again, this was a great interview with Dubz. He gave a lot of game. I feel like a lot of artists should tap in with this interview. You're gonna get a lot of information out of here. Is there anything you want to say to the people?
Don't give up, man. Honestly, like we all can do it. It's about your brain power. You're actually willing to actually get things done.
Perfect. Let the people know too where they can find you.
Everywhere. Ace Dubz on Instagram, Spotify, Snapchat, YouTube, Apple Music, SoundCloud. You already know. You name it, man. Just look it up. You'll find me.
Perfect. And I've been MBKJ with Mocheniq Media. We're out of here. Bye.